Well, hello, a very good day to you. How are you? How are you? I did that with Natasha, didn't I? One of my first shows. How are you? How are you? My name is Rachel. Lovely to have you company. Thank you for joining us today. We have got a brand new show. We've got a brand new supplier. She's called Sarah. We're going to talk to her in just a few moments. And we've got some lovely embroidery kits. Oh my goodness me, cast your eye upon these beauties because they are so different. If you just have a look at this one, the actual piece itself, look at that. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? And these are not too hard to accomplish, so don't worry about that if you're thinking, I could never create something like that. You have all the threads and the bits and pieces that you need, as well as the materials and, of course, all the instructions. But I think that is so different, so unique, really beautiful and shiny, and just something lovely to create. Now, if you want to have a shop ahead, you can go to the website, hochanda.com, and you can see all the lovely kits that we have on the show, because we've got several for you on the show here today. But all amongst the same sort of theme with these amazing, amazing creatures and these fantastic creations. I mean, look at that. Just so beautiful. I love the gold thread. Well, let's talk now to our lovely guest, Sarah, who is responsible for bringing all these lovely things to us and creating these masterpieces. Let's find out a little bit more about them and her. Lovely Sarah, hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, and I hope you are too.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much, Sarah. It's so nice to talk to you on the phone. Of course, it would have been lovely to have had you in the studio, you being a lovely supplier with us here now at Hochanda, which is fantastic. How did it come about, Sarah, that you have managed to come to Hochanda and we've managed to get hold of you? How have we come together?
Well, somebody contacted me and asked me if I would like to put some of my kits on Hochanda, and I said yes, that'd be great. So
yeah,
it was just and I had a lady, I think her name was Lou, who came up to me at one of the shows as well. I think she's a presenter with yourself.
Yes, I bet it was Lou with us. Was she a crazy lady with lots of curly hair?
Yes, that's the one.
There you go, that's Lou with us. We love Lou.
Lovely lady.
You see, the thing about Lou is, though, Sarah, is that she has got a really good eye. You know, she was an art teacher for years and she's an incredibly talented lady, but she's got a really good eye for new things. So I'm not surprised that she came up to you. So, Sarah, talk us through the kind of motivation and behind these kits and how you sort of came up with these ideas, because they are very stylish and they are of a style. So how and why did you start doing this sort of embroidery?
Well, Goldwork is a really old traditional technique. Stems from the Royal School and hand and lock and places like those, and it's come through the ages, and we're talking, you know, 17th, 18th century.
Yes.
And it has developed over time because some newer wires and colours have all come in, and leather as well. So I got into it because my mum was teaching, and she'd done sitting gills twice in her life, and she did quite a lot of gold work on the sitting gill. She made a banner for my school when I was in primary school, and that was all the letters were in gold work.
Wow.
So she was teaching, and because she started selling small amounts of product to the ladies, and I was a trainee chartered accountant at the time, I said, you know, we need to be a business, and that's how Golden Hinde started. And it's golden because it's it's Goldwork embroidery, and it's Hinde because that's my mum's last name, so that's where Golden Hinde came from.
Oh, that's lovely. It's a nice story behind the brand, actually, isn't it? Which is fantastic. Yeah. And so these pieces that we're looking at, I mean, some of them, like the dragon that we saw at the end there, I mean, that just looked absolutely incredible. But I mean, are these okay for beginners, Sarah, or is this something that you must have done embroidery before to tackle?
So obviously there's 5 kits on today, and you have the seahorse, the cat, the dragon, which you've just seen there. You've got the Pegasus and the tulip. Now we set them in different ranges for complete beginners up to more advanced. So the starter range includes the cat and the seahorse, and the tulip is in the beginner range. So when we first started the business, the tulip was the only kits that we had were in that beginner range. So if you've never done any before, the Seahorse, the cat, and the tulip would be the perfect ones for you. If you've done a lot of embroidery, you could do any of the advanced ones, which are the Pegasus and the dragon. So it's all achievable. We convert a lot of cross stitches. Cross stitches are very precision stitches, so they are very good at going from cross stitch onto any form of embroidery, and obviously there's a lot of other different forms of embroidery as well. So if you're an experienced embroiderer, you could do any of the kits. If you've never done any embroidery or any goldwork before, then I would probably start with one of the smaller ones first.
Okay, perfect. And how long do these kits sort of take to do then? So for example, the lovely Seahorse in front of me, how long would that take me to do if I was sat down and working on it, Sarah?
Well, it depends on whether it's me stitching it or somebody else. I'm a fast stitcher, so you get two different types of stitches. You get people that are very good at stitching, and they're very fast. And I'm in that category, fortunately. But you also get some that are very methodical and very slow. So I could actually do the Seahorse in 3 days, and that's sort of like about 15 hours worth of work from start to finish.
Yeah. I think it's a lovely project to do, though. I really do, Sarah. So,
yeah.
Especially at the moment, we all have hours and hours, don't we? So I think this is perfect timing to be able to have a go with these. Yeah. And also as well, on our show today, Sarah, we have got a book from you. So what sort of things can we find in the book?
Well, the book is really, really good. It's got very, very clear descriptions of all the different threads and wires that you would use within Goldwork. It's also got an amazing selection of the techniques, up to more advanced techniques as well in there, but very clear and very descriptive. So the text is very bold, it's black against white, which is very clear, and it's large letters, which we've had a lot of good compliments about that. But also it's got some really, really clear pictures on there. So it's descriptive, so you've got the text, but you've got the pictures showing actually what it looks like.
Yeah.
So it goes on from there. It does a bit of a stitching section, because you always do some ordinary stitches within Goldwork. And then it goes on to the project section, and it's got about 14 different projects within the book. And then it's also got a gallery section, which no other Goldwork book has.
Oh.
So it's got about 20 pages of pictures showing you where you can go from doing a small project to a larger project included in the book. And then, you know, you can choose your own designs and get your own parts to do those. So it's a really, really good, colourful, descriptive book.
Fantastic. Well, that is on, it's not on our counter, but it is on the website, so you can buy it today. Let's talk also as well about the tools. So we've got something called the Barley Twist on the show. So what is the Barley Twist?
So the Barley Twist set is 2 tools, and the first one is a seam ripper, so otherwise called quick unpick.
Yeah.
So seam rippers and quick unpicks are used for unpicking your stitches. So it's got a seam ripper blade at the end, and you just lift up some of the stitches and it cuts through those stitches. If you've taken tacking stitches out or you've made a mistake, you can just cut the thread, and it gets really close and really into the work. And the other tool is a stiletto, and stilettos are used for Goldwork to create holes. Sometimes that's for poking in threads, and it's also used for guiding some of your wires as well. A lot of Japanese ladies are using it for stroking the silk threads as well, so that's not something that I particularly use it for, although I have had a go at that as well. And yeah, so that's the stiletto and the seam ripper, and that's the Barley Twist set. So the handle is made out of pewter, and it's a very ornate barley twist design, really, really pretty.
Yeah, I was going to say actually that the handles look lovely. It looks like a lovely thing to own.
Yeah, and they've got a hole at the end as well, so if you wanted to put a tassel on there or a ribbon, you could do so as well.
Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And then we've got another one on the show called the Chatelaine.
Yes, it's a chatelaine. So chatelaines derive from Victorian times and before, and they were mainly belts, and there was implements worn on the belts, like keys, etc. Monks had them as well, so it wasn't just ladies. And this particular one is a necklace design. So it's a pair of scissors in a pewter case, and the case has lots of little hearts on there. It's a really nice design.
I love that. I think that's such a lovely little set. I mean, as a gift as well, that would be a fantastic gift for someone, wouldn't it? It's so nice.
Yes, yeah. And it hangs really nicely around the neck.
Yes.
And, you know, it means that your scissors are always there. And
exactly.
You're not scratching around trying to find your scissors.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is ideal.
Well, they are really pretty tools, as well as being, you know, very practical as well. So yeah, lovely.
Fashionable and functional.
Yes, that's what we like.
That's it.
Well, Sarah, it's been amazing talking to you, and you're so informative, and can't wait to have you back in the studio at some point.
Indeed.
So of course we will get to meet you then. But listen, thank you so much for bringing these lovely things, and I'm sure this show is going to be incredibly busy. So
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it already actually, Sarah, I've just been told it already is busy, so that is fabulous. Yeah,
that's great.
Lovely. Well, you take care, stay safe, and we will see you in the studio as soon as we can get you back in.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much.
Take care. Thank you. Bye. Oh, that's so lovely, isn't it? Okay, well, we better get through the kits quite quickly because people are shopping and you want to see some demonstrations. So, first of all, the Seahorse then. As we were saying, you get everything. So you're getting your thread and you're getting your needles and your little beads. You get all of your materials and elements that you need to be able to create this, including even the backing board as well. Now, this already has gone 1/3. 1/3 of the stock has gone. 716605, your item number. It is £19.99. Let's move along now to our cat. And again, you get all the materials, including the backing board, the leather, etc. You're getting the cottons and the threads and the needles, and then you can create something like this. And all the instructions are here. They are very, very detailed instructions for you. And that lovely cat is what you could create in the end. Nearly 20% of that one has gone. 924929, your item number, £19.99. Then we have got a wonderful tulip for you. And if we have a look at this one, again, all the elements included so that you can make up this exact little board. And I think that is really beautiful. I love the curvature. It's like that tulip is really looking up to the sun, looking up to the sky. I think it's very beautiful and it looks incredibly expensive. It's the kind of thing that if you did make and you put into a kind of old vintage frame, I think people would think, wow, that picture is worth a lot of money. That's from a few hundred years ago or something. It looks absolutely amazing. £27.99 is what you'll pay for that one. 719650 is your item number for all of the bits and pieces. Then we move on to our Pegasus. And if we have a look, it's a bit more advanced, this one. That's what Sarah was saying to us here. Obviously, you're getting a lot more threads here and more materials because you are creating a bigger image. Now, this one is on FlexiPay for you, so £20 today, £20 in a month's time. It is 629083, your item number, but it's very detailed, that prancing Pegasus. And I think if you create something like that, you will be so proud of yourself and proud of the work at the end. And there are all of your threads that you are getting with your needle in there as well. So 629083 is your item number. And then the pièce de résistance, it is this wonderful dragon. Oh my goodness me. Can you imagine if you achieve that? That is just, it's a kind of heirloom, it's a kind of thing to hand down through the family. But all those scales are achieved from stitches, which is incredible. So £25 today, £25 in a month's time. 234618 is your item number. Absolutely stunning. Right, so you've seen the prices, you've seen the kits, you're already shopping anyway. Do have a look for the book online and those tools. But we have actually got some demonstrations now. Is this Sarah? I presume it is. Brilliant. So we didn't know what Sarah looked like, but now we do. We've heard her. Now let's see Sarah in action as she takes us through the cat.
Hello, my name's Sarah from Golden Hinde, and today I've had my debut on Hochanda, and what I would like to do is I'd like to show you some of the kits that we have available that you can buy, and they'll be available on the Hochanda website and also if you call them. So the first two kits that I'm going to show you now, and I'm going to do some demonstrating of those kits as well, is the cat kit and the seahorse kit. And these are our two starter kits. They are the easiest ones in our kit range. So ideal for any beginners, people that have never done any goldwork before, if you're new to embroidery even, if you're a cross-stitcher. We've converted some cross-stitchers over the years, so it's very easy to get into goldwork. It's basically just couching and beading. Those are the two main techniques, and I'm going to show you how to do what we need to do. I'm going to go over what's in the kit so that you know what's available to you and what you need in order for you to put the kit together and to stitch it. So thank you very much. So these are the two kits that we're discussing today. This is the seahorse one and this is the cat one. So these are our starter kits, and as you can see, quite simple designs. We've got this really nice seahorse kit. We're very into the sea. We love all things seaside, so that's where our seahorse kit came from originally. And we have a little cat called Mo, and he's a very cute little cat, and so there's a lot of cat lovers out there, and that's why we did the cat. Now the cat's got a little mouse on it as well, for added interest. He's just looking down at the mouse, and he's thinking of ways he can catch that mouse as quick as possible before the mouse scurries away. So those are our kits. I'm going to show you what's in the kits. This is our cat kit that has been worked, so you can see him just there, and then this is our seahorse kit that's been worked there. So this is what we're going to achieve from buying the kit. This is our seahorse kit, and this is our cat kit for you to buy. As I said, it will be on the website, and it's also available to buy if you call the number. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what's inside those two kits.
Perfect, and we will see that in just a second. But that is your splendid cat. Looks amazing, doesn't it? But when you see close up, you can see how it's formed. You can see the stitches. Nearly a quarter of this stock has gone. If you want to get the cat, be very quick indeed. 924929. We also saw the seahorse as well here. Nearly half the stock gone on that one. So people are loving the seahorse. 716605 is your item number. £19.99. Just wanted to come back there and give you the details because everything is selling. But if you want to now see the second part of the demonstration, you're in luck because here she is.
So this is our cat kit. I'm going to show you what's inside it. So I'm going to turn it over, and we're going to just open it up just here. And I'm going to get all the parts out for you. Okay. So within there, we have obviously our front picture there. We have our instructions just here. Okay. Then we have a few pages of instructions. We have our cat tracing, and then the templates for you to cut out your pieces. We have the cat design showing where each of the items are, and then you've got your techniques that you can look at so that you know how to do the different techniques that we will be discussing in the instructions. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to actually set up your frame. Now we have our material. Now you always work goldwork on two layers, so we have a layer of calico and we have a layer of silk dupion. We've got some wadding in there, you've got your mount board, tracing paper, and then we have two packets that are labelled up with what that are in those particular packets. So we'll be moving these to one side for the time being, and I'll be showing you how to frame your material up. So I tend to use these bar frames, which are perfect for putting the material on. So we'll just work that in like that. Okay, so we'll just get that a bit more rectangular, and then we'll lay the fabric onto the frame like so. And I tend to drawing pin these on, so I will take the drawing pins and I will do one side. So I'll push the drawing pin into the fabric like so. Tend to hold this tight like that whilst I'm putting the drawing pins in. Then you could put the next two in. Okay, depending on how long your frame is, depends on how big the pieces of work are. Obviously these are the smaller ones, so these are completed 4 inches by 6 inches. So the piece of fabric that's in there is 6 by 8 inches. So then we need to pull that fabric tightly over to the other side. So I'm just going to move my drawing pins just there so it's a little bit easier to grab them. So I'm going to pull that tight, put that drawing pin in, pull this tight here. So I'm pulling it over this way and across that way as well. Nice and taut the fabric needs to be when you're doing gold work embroidery. Okay, and then this time I'm going to actually pull this fabric whilst I put the last two in, like so. Then we want to do these other two sides. Now I can set up one of these frames in just a few minutes, and that's why for small pieces I actually prefer these, because they're so quick and easy to set up. When you get to much bigger pieces, you might want to consider using a slate frame or a good tapestry frame for larger pieces. Now this needs to be absolutely drum tight when it's finished, when you finish putting the material on. So you can tap the material and you can see whether it is. If it isn't, you can always take the drawing pins out, so that's quite useful. So that's our frame, all framed up. We've got all the drawing pins all the way around there now. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to take our tracing paper and we need to take our tracing, not the design. So this is the design. You need to take the tracing paper, which is this one here. As you can see, the cat on the tracing paper is much smaller than the cat on the design. If you trace the design, then you will not have enough threads in your pack. Okay, so we need to take the cat, we need to take the tracing paper, and we just need to trace the lines that are on the cat's face. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be approximate. Okay, so these are the lines that you're actually going to tack onto your fabric in order for you to be able to see where your design is and where your threads are going to be put on your piece of work. So I'm using just a permanent marker pen here. I don't recommend using a pencil. The reason why I wouldn't use a pencil is because when you're stitching through the tracing paper onto your fabric, especially if you're using a cream fabric, you will actually see the dots of the tracing where you've stitched through, you'll see the dots of pencil. Okay, oh, don't forget our little mouse just there. Okay, so that's our tracing now, and we need to put that onto our frame. So I'm going to take the tracing paper away now. I'm going to be bringing back the frame. Okay, right, so this is our cat. He just needs to be laid on the surface like so. The first thing we need to do is we need to attach the tracing paper to the fabric, okay? So we need to do that with some ordinary pins, okay? So I'm just going to pin each corner like so. Oops. So you only need to put 4 pins in, you don't need to put any more in, and that just attaches the tracing paper to the fabric. Okay, now within your pack you have these 2 packs of threads, leather and beads. Now you also have on that pack, you have a needle for couching and a needle for the wires, okay? So that's these 2 here. So we're going to be taking the needle for couching and we're going to be stitching on our tracing paper. Now, within the pack, you get all your Goldwork wires and all your Goldwork threads. You get your leather, any parts that you need in order for you to complete the piece of work. What isn't in the pack is the couching thread, because some people like to use a colour. So on the Seahorse, you've got blue. On the cat, you've got an invisible thread called translucent. So that's more of a personal preference. You can use stranded cottons, any strong cotton. This is the one that I tend to use, which is the translucent. So it's a very fine thread. You may just about be able to see it. And this is invisible against the gold. If I was using a colour, like on the Seahorse here, I'd just use a single strand of stranded cotton. So this here, I'm trying to break it. It's a very strong thread, and that's what you need. You need a strong thread that you can use. So for the purpose of tacking on, I would just use this singly. Okay. Right. So all you need to do is to just tack on. Now, it's not a quilt, so all you need to do is just tack it on very, very simply. Now, I'm just going to do a couple of little stay stitches just to make sure that the actual thread is held in place. Okay, and then I'm going to carry on with my tacking stitches. So we're literally just going up and down, and they're not tiny stitches and they're not really, really close together. So as you can see, I've just set this up on 2 barrel clamps just to make sure that it doesn't move about at all, and I'm not lifting it up and down and wobbling it about, which is ideal for demonstrating for you, and it's also ideal for giving you both hands free, as opposed to when you're working, if you're holding your frame with one hand and trying to come up and down with the other, it does make it harder to work. So you can either use a frame such as this, or you can use one of the seat frames, a big frame. It's entirely up to you what you might have about your house, and whatever's comfortable. So what I'm doing now is I'm just doing the tacking stitches.
Beautiful, and we have got another part of that demonstration coming up in just a few moments' time. However, let's have a look at the book first of all, because we found the book. This is the book that Sarah was talking about at the top of the show, and it's fantastic. Oh my goodness me, look at this in terms of just flicking through. What a weighty tome. Is it tome or tomb? That is. But basically, this is going to guide you through the process as well as inspire you, and it's beautifully photographed, really well written. and very, very informational, if that's a word. So yeah, you can see there how it's going to teach you the whole principle of this kind of embroidery and how to design, how to create, how to actually sew, step by step, all beautifully photographed, illustrated and written about as well. So a really fabulous book to have. If you are buying a kit today, I would say definitely go for this book, because this is going to help you out hugely. But half the stock has gone. But isn't it incredible what you can create? My goodness me. So that is the book, and there are the details for you. 910156 is your item number there, if you'd like to get hold of that. But let's talk about the Seahorse. Over half the stock has gone now on this Seahorse. You are liking him very much indeed. I think he's a great project to start with. Not too big, not too complicated, and you get all of your materials to be able to create exactly what you're seeing in front of you. So you see the leather and the threads and the tracing paper, and of course the needle, the beads, the thread, everything. So you can then create that with your full instructions as well. That is 716605, your item number, £19.99 if you'd like to get hold of that. Then we have got that wonderful cat, and if you want to buy this collection, it is there at the moment, hanging on. Nearly a third has gone. 924929 is your item number. £19.99 is what you will pay if you would like to get hold of him. And I love the difference in the stitching detail. You know, the sort of longer stitches, shorter stitches, the beadwork, and then that leather in there as well. So 924929 is your item number, £19.99. And then we have got this lovely tulip, which is really reaching up for the sun, kind of looking up into the sun. And this is a beautiful tulip. I'm saying we, because it was my director who also agreed with me. It wasn't just the voice in my head. The two of us were saying, this really does look like an expensive kind of vintage piece. I think if you were to frame that in a really lovely vintage frame, you would really fool people into thinking that that was a kind of, you know, piece of embroidery from last century or something. It's lovely and a lovely project to do. So £27.99, 719650 is your item number. And then we move on to this. Now we're getting bigger, we're getting larger, we are, you know, getting a bit more complicated, as it were. Obviously the price is going up as well because you are getting a bigger canvas to play with. Again, all the materials, again, all the threads and needles and your lovely little beads. And you get your backing fabric as well, everything you need to be able to create this masterpiece here. Look at that, the detail, the different in stitching techniques there, and then the panels of leather as well to give you that amazing shine. I think that is glorious. So that is your Pegasus kit. 629083 is your item number. Flexible payments as well, £20 today, £20 in a month's time. And then we have the dragon. Nearly a quarter of this dragon stock has gone. I think it is magnificent. When you look at it, it's such a statement piece, and what a wonderful project to make. Now, this is £49.99. 234618 is your item number if you would like to get hold of this kit. Again, everything included so that you can then make up exactly what you're seeing on the screen. Another couple of items for you, those wonderful tools that Sarah was mentioning at the top of the show. They are made from pewter, she was saying, and they are wonderful to hold and work with. I think just really nice tools to have. You get your seam ripper and you get your stiletto. That is 073747. And then we have the chatelaine, and that is that lovely necklace that holds the scissors, which I think is gorgeous. £24.99. That is 003183 as an item number. Fabulous, but we have got, luckily, the second part of that cat demonstration now. This is something that you can achieve at home, I really believe. But watch carefully and listen to the techniques, then pick up the phone, give us a call, go on the web and buy your kit.
So I'm coming up and down with those tacking stitches, just like so. And what I tend to do is just a few stitches going along. They don't have to be tiny stitches either, they can be quite good sized stitches, like so. A reasonable gap in between. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tack that all on there so that you can see what it looks like before we take the tracing paper off. Right, so I have tacked on half of the cat just so that I can show you how to actually take off the tacking. So I usually take out the pins, obviously because they're holding it down, and then I just score along the stitches, just the stitches, like so. And then by doing this, you're actually breaking the tacking that is holding the tracing paper down onto the fabric. So you have to go along every single stitch that you've tacked on. And I usually use a slightly bigger needle, which is not susceptible to bending. Now this particular one is the couching needle that I've been using to stitch it all on. It's quite a good size needle, and it is a strong needle. And I'm just using it almost like a paint brush as opposed to a pencil. You don't want to score along the lines too many times, because otherwise it can act like a blade. Okay, so I've gone over every single tacking stitch there, and then you should, oh, I didn't do the mouse, so let's get the mouse. I've just put 3 stitches in for the mouse, that's all. You don't need to do all perfectly around the mouse. When you're doing curves, you do a few more stitches than when you're doing the more gradual curves, but if you've got a very steep curve like that, you'll do smaller stitches on there. So I'm just going to pull that off now, and that will come off up to there where obviously his body is. Now I'm just going to fold that back for the time being so that you can see the next technique that I'm going to do, because I've only actually tacked up to there. So what I can do later is I can fold that back, I can continue on with my tacking, and then I can take all of the tracing paper off. Now usually I would do all of the tacking and then I would take the tracing paper off before I carry on with the next technique. However, for quickness, obviously it's easier for me to show you just doing half of it, so it's much quicker for me to get on to the next part of the demonstration. So I'm going to take this bag here. This is the one that says Jap, check thread, etc. And I'm just going to show you how to do couching. Okay, so this is one of the main techniques within this piece. And if we look at our cat just here, all of this area here, around the tail here, and in the body just here, that is all couched. Okay, so the next thing you need to do is you need to have a look at your instructions, and you need to just, you should have been through all of this to see what you have and haven't got, and then your preparation is putting together your frame. So next thing you look at is which thread to start on, and obviously it says on here, it says start with the Jap thread. Okay, so you start with the Jap and the check thread, and that's in this pack here. Now just be careful when you're getting everything out, because there is some bright check in there as well, and that will potentially damage if you're not careful. Okay, so this is our thread. This is the check thread and the Jap thread together, and we want the check thread on the outside. So what you do is you just start off that thread just here, and I've come up with my needle just there. So you're literally coming up on one side of the thread and going down on the other. Now this is the thread that I'm couching with. As I said before, you can use a colour. Your stitches need to be about 3 to 4 millimetres apart. If you want to do a brown cat, you can use brown stranded cotton. You're literally just coming up on one side, and then you go down on the other side of the check thread and the Jap, and that is how you'll go all the way around the tail, and then that's how you do the centre part as well. Now at the very end you will need to get a very large needle such as this one. This is the one that I tend to use for plunging the wires and threads. So you'll go down into the fabric like that. You'll take the ends of the thread through the needle like so, and then you'll pull that into the fabric so that it goes straight through the fabric. And then on the other side you do need to oversew. Obviously you will be consulting your instructions here, and the instructions show you how to do all that, tell you what to do and where to put everything and where to start. So this wire here, this is bright check, and this is a very delicate wobbly wire, and we're going to be using that on the back. Now you will have done all your couching first before you actually do the bright check, but obviously for demonstrating I need to be showing you how to do it now. So I'm going to cut some reasonable sized pieces. These are wire scissors, so I'm just going to cut those like that. Okay, and then we'll take that away, and I'm using the smaller needle, which is the wire needle, now on the fabric. So this is the smaller needle here, okay, and then all you do is just sew that through the fabric, through the wire, and take it, hold the wire up to the top, make sure this is taut, and the wire will usually just drop down to the fabric, and then you will just then stitch that down into the fabric. Now if you don't do that, it can potentially catch, so it's always better to make sure that your thread is taut after you've stitched it on. So I'm just going to put that through the eye there. So I'm just going to take the piece, just going to poke that through like so. Then I'm going to hold my needle, I'm going to make sure that the thread is nice and taut, and as you could see there, the wire just dropped down to the fabric. So I'm just going to hold that down like so, and then I'm just going to stitch that down like that. Okay, and that's how you do all the bright check. So that's the demonstration for couching and for bright check. For the leather demonstration, which you do have leather on each of these kits, so you can get your Seahorse or your cat kit by going onto the website or giving them a call. And the leather part, I'll be demonstrating that when I show you the dragon kit.
Fabulous. Isn't it a lovely thing to do? It's a lovely thing. It's very calming, very relaxing, and it's not that hard. That's the thing, it's not that hard. And there are certainly beginners projects on here. Of course, the dragon and the Pegasus is a bigger project, and you need to go for that if you are a bit more of an experienced embroiderer. But you know what as well, I think it's lovely when we bring these techniques back from the past, when we bring these skills back from the past, and we kind of reinvigorate them and give them new life. So I think it's a lovely thing to do. If you want to buy anything, of course, you can today on the website. It is hochanda.com. If you want to dip your toe in the water, I would go for the Seahorse. Definitely. It is 716-605, your item number, £19.99 is what you'll pay if you would like to get hold of him. Nearly 70% of the stock has gone, and don't forget you are getting everything you need. So you're getting all the backing paper and the wadding and the material, and of course the needle and the threads. Then we have the cat, the lovely cat, of course, and the cat has been very popular today indeed. I love how you've got the sort of bits of leather in there. Nearly 40% of the cat has gone. 924929, your item number, £19.99 if you'd like to get hold of that one. Then we have the tulip, and we've got that beautiful tulip reaching up for the sun, lovely shaping there, very, very pretty indeed. And there it is. And we were saying this is the one that looks like a vintage, piece. 719650, £27.99. It's absolutely lovely. I love the beading work. If you want to get hold of that one, then please do. The Pegasus, of course, we're moving on in difficulty now. It's a bigger piece, costs a bit more because you are getting more threads, more materials, but this is what you can create. And I think when you've made this and sat back and looked at it, you'll be so proud of it. It could become a family heirloom that you hand down. It's on flexible payments as well, £20 today, £20 in a month's time, 629083. And then finally we have the dragon, which is just this big masterpiece, and we're going to see a demonstration with this in a moment. It is 234618, your item number, £49.99. I believe that's also on flexible payments, and a quarter of this stock has gone. But look at him. He looks absolutely extraordinary. Should we have a look at how he's made? Here you go.
So here's the red fabric for the dragon on the frame, and we have the 3 pieces of leather. So I've shown you how to do the leather when you are sewing it on and then padding it, but for the dragon it's slightly different. So within your pack for the dragon you also have a big coloured sheet. So this shows you very good close-ups of all the different areas of the dragon. Because it's our biggest kit, you need to be able to see things a little bit more detailed than you can actually on the front picture. So we're going to do just a little bit of the dragon head just here. So I'm just going to show you that and how to just sew on a couple of pieces. So these are the leathers, and obviously in the same way, if you actually take your scissors out of your chatelaine, we can just use our tracing here, lay that on the surface, and we can cut out our piece of leather just like so with our extremely sharp scissors that we've got in our chatelaine. So you just need to make sure that you line this up. Just going to come in there like so. I'm just going to tear that little bit there like that. Makes it easier for me to do. Okay, so I'm just going to finish that little bit off there. If you can just see, it's not quite cut all the way down to that little V, so I'm just going to do that without the tracing paper there, and then we should be able to just take that bit of out, and then if we just neaten this area up as well, like so. Okay, so that's our first bit of leather. Okay, and then we want to cut out our second bit of leather, which is just this piece here. I'm just going to line that up just there, and then come in and cut that out like so. I need to make sure that it's nice and pointy at the end. So these are like the flames on the head of the dragon. So we've got our piece cut out there, and we're just going to take our little piece just there like so. Now obviously I haven't actually tacked on the design on the fabric here, but we're just basically completing the head of the dragon, and this is the tracing, so you will have tacked this on already. So just to attach our leather onto the fabric, we'd take the back layers first. So on the tracing we'd take the lower layers first, and then we'd attach the upper layers, and you would just do that by stitching a few stitches into the leather. Now this little area here isn't actually going to be seen when the other layers of leather are on the surface. So I'm using the translucent thread here. However, you can actually use the Ophire, and on the final piece, if you look just here, there are some gold stitches, so it's a good idea to use the Ophire thread, and you get a full reel of that within the kit. And we can just stitch that on, and if this was the gold thread you could just use some larger stitches, which makes it quite effective and more flame-like, because obviously dragons like to blow flames, and this one's got a flaming crown on its head. So we just do some nice big stitches like that into the leather, and then you'd have your gold pieces on there as well.
Fabulous. All you have to do is buy a kit, sit down and start playing. That was the dragon, of course. Let's have a look at this book, because this is going to take you through step by step and really teach you all the techniques. By the way, it's nearly limited stock, so you do need to hurry along and grab this fantastic book. But you can see there lots of details, step-by-step instructions, lots of inspiration as well. Talks about where this has kind of come from, this craft. But you've got leather and you've got fabrics in Goldwork, and it'll talk about tools and padding and wadding. And it's just all there from the very beginning, telling you what to do. There's a squirrel in here, if we can find him. He looks absolutely amazing as we flick through. Buzzy bees there. Hang on, let's see if we can find him. Come on, Mr. Squirrel, where are you? That was amazing peacock feathers. These are lovely, these blossom trees, aren't they? Just, and that's the thing, once you have learned the technique, you can then just use it. Oh, look, a red squirrel. Very rare. Great in that colour. Yeah, so this is fantastic to be able to learn and then just take on that skill and, you know, oh, the owl was lovely, and do lovely things. So this is now limited stock. If you want to get hold of the book, it is 910156, £16.19, and that is a freedom price, which is including your postage as well, which is fantastic. So seriously, have a think about that book. Let's just go down the counter one more time to tell you what you've got. This is now nearly limited stock as well. This fantastic embroidery kit there with the seahorse. 716605, your item number, £19.99, and remember, everything is included that you will need. So all of your backing and your canvas, and of course the I'm saying canvas, it's not a canvas, is it? Just in case people go, it's the backing fabric. And then you've got your threads and your needle and your beads, and of course you've got your instructions. That's a nice, easy beginner starter kit. So 716605, your item number. Then we have got your cat, your lovely cat, and nearly half the stock has gone on this one. You've got little leather pieces there to go with it as well to create that lovely kind of padded effect, and all the other backings and front-facing materials you will need. So 924929 if you would like to get hold of him, £19.99. And then we've got the tulip, as we were saying, reaching for the sun, looking like a real vintage piece there, and that is 719650 as an item number, £27.99 if you would like to get hold of this. But that's so pretty. Isn't it lovely, that little bit of padding behind that leather? It really sets it off. It's like that mirror effect. But yeah, really cool. 719650, your item number, £27.99. Then we have got your Pegasus. Now this is where we're ramping it up, because this is a bigger kit now. 40% of this has gone, but it's not too big. This can, you know, we've got time at the moment. We can take our time and make this project. This has got different kind of stitching in here as well, and you can see that beadwork and the leather work, but a real project to be proud of. Absolutely fabulous. Now this is on 2 flexible payments today for you, so £20 today, £20 in a month's time. It is 629083 if you want to have a go at that stunning chap. I love the wings there on that Pegasus. And then let's go down to our dragon, because you can see here, amazing as a finished project. Almost 40% of this stock has gone. 234618, your item number, £49.99, 2 payments, £25 today, £25 in a month's time. But he is glorious. And remember, you are getting all the lovely leather as well to go with the stitch work and all the tools and the gold that you will need. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful items here. 234618, your item number, if you'd like to get hold of that kit. And then don't forget, we have got some tools for you, and we've got that book as well. We've got the seam ripper and the stiletto, so there you are. 073747, made out of pewter, and that is £17.99 if you would like to get hold of those two. Pretty essential tools, actually. And then we have got the chatelaine. We love these, this beautiful necklace there with your little scissors to sit perfectly inside. 003183 is your item number, £24.99 there for those fantastic scissors. And the book, by the way, has just sold out, so I'm afraid you can no longer get the book. If it is in your basket right now, check it out, because it's a technical sellout. That means that every single one is allocated for. Well, what a lovely show that was. Do you know, this is what is so great about Hochanda, is that we bring you different crafts and different people and different kits. And we haven't seen anything like this before on Hochanda. It's really unusual. And what's nice as well is that there are so many crafts that are kind of brought back from past times and then, you know, kind of reimagined for today's times. So that's great that you're actually using a traditional craft but working with these kits, which is fantastic. So it has been a lovely show. Can't wait to meet Sarah when she comes in person as well, because didn't she sound amazing at the beginning of the show? If you have just joined us and you've missed it, don't forget you can always go to hochanda.com, go to the rewind arrows, and you can choose any show from the last 60 days and rewatch demos or interviews with guests. I'm going to disappear now. I'm back on Saturday morning, bright and breezy, but don't worry, the gorgeous Adam is up next to take care of you. Woo!